views out there. Most of the negative views has come from older style forestry. You know, sites like this we would have possibly deep ploughed and maybe put some drains in. Certainly in the upland areas, you know, traditionally in the 60s and 70s, a lot of that land was ploughed and drained. And I mentioned at Colburn, they monitored that initial phase and showed that actually increased the flood flows.
We've stopped refining our mapping down to fields, although it's possible we could have done that. Where do we go next? Comment to Celia and community and landowners. It'd be really good to get the community and the landowners together to talk about issues.
I'm really I'm saving those for special occasions.
Oh yeah. Penrith.
And all either side of that north planting, you can't see a lot of it. There's a little bit of spruce on the other side of the bank, but most of it is on this side there. So I would suggest that if we wander down towards this conifer plantation, and then
I'm Wendy and I live in Staveley and I live on the banks of the River Gowan in a little tiny terraced house, but I just look out my window and like 10 yards from my window I see that river going up and down, and I've watched what's happened to it for 23 years.
How has today worked for you, you know, and why are events like this today important, do you think?
I'm disappointed that there's not more landowners and people here, but that's got to be addressed, and they're people that can't come during daytime and daylight, so there's got to be more evening meetings.
Getting access to, you know, experts, how important is that, and how much have you learned today from the likes of our good friend here?
Well, personally, I looked up him and the other speaker online, and a lot of what they were talking about today I've already read it through the papers that they've published over the last few years. But that's because I want to know and I'm interested. Generations, and they do know it all. You know, farmers do know it all, and it's there and it's in their blood. Yeah. But they're not seeing it in quite the same way.
Different context.
It's trying to connect everybody.
Yeah.
But overall, have you found today beneficial to yourself?
I'm really glad I've come, yes.
Okay, so Keith Jones, Area Director for the Forestry Commission. We've been trying to demonstrate what woodlands can do with the best evidence, with the best science, and basically what we've done there, and the principles are pretty sound for other forms of natural flood management, is you need two ingredients. You need a community at risk, and you need that community at risk to have a catchment above it of about 100 square kilometres or less. And the reason for that is anything bigger and you stand less chance of getting the land use change you need, whether that's woodlands, peat rewetting, naturalising rivers, you get less chance of bringing about that land use change that will make a meaningful difference to people whose homes and livelihoods are at risk.
You've had members of the public, landowners, and the different collaborative agencies and groups getting together. Why is it important that you all do get together, and how important is it to host and also fund these events?
I think the crucial thing about dealing with flood risk, where there aren't nowadays unlimited amounts of money to put in hard defences, and certainly within Cumbria post the terrible storms of 2015, is that you need to examine all opportunities, from making people's homes more resilient, making their villages and towns more resilient, and then communities and their upstream landowners actually working together using the best science and the best evidence. And events like this, and there is no one event going to produce the single answer, events like this over time will build into the community an innate understanding of the need for an integrated solution. So yes, I need to protect my home, yes, I need the village to be protected, yes, I recognise that there aren't unlimited amounts of money, it may not even be desirable to put hard defences into some of these areas, and yes, upstream, that does matter what's happening upstream.
You hosted it indoors, but then you brought people out into the wilds. It's not a bit of a risk of the Lake District weather, and how do you think that that's been received today?
Yes, it's all too easy to think of it as being an academic exercise where you present the data and the job is done. Bringing people out on site, especially in the wilds, especially today, although the weather's been quite kind, to give them a feel for what can be done. And we were lucky, we had a site of over 30 hectares that had been done earlier, to show people that woodlands can be acceptable, mixed woodlands, conifer woodlands, acceptable for productivity for timber, for biodiversity, and can provide flood risk mitigation. So it's seeing it and believing it, hearing about it, and yeah, actually feeling where that change can be made.
I'm Tim Duckmanton. I'm from the Lake District National Park Authority, and I'm a strategy and partnership advisor. My role in that team there is to lead on the watery stuff for the organisation, so catchment management, the flooding and so forth, and natural environment projects as well. So I came here today because I was invited by the EA in terms of that role, and also with regard to taking part in supporting the steering group in Staveley, which I'll be joining soon after getting to meet the guys from the flood action group here today. So it's a good opportunity to network with them and offer them a bit of help from our organisation as well with the things that they want to get involved with and do.
Absolutely. Why are events like today important, and also how do we bring everybody together when there's so many different conflicting views sometimes? How do we do that?
I think one, it's really good for sharing knowledge and helping demonstrate the evidence base to save natural flood management, which was the focus for today. I think in terms of managing those conflicts or different ideas, it provides just an open space for people to share those views, get challenged appropriately, and make challenges back, and have an open and honest conversation. So everyone can get their sort of concerns out in the open. People can talk them through. Hopefully, by the end of the day, everyone has some sort of shared understanding about what we can achieve in the catchment.
I came today because I'm a farmer, nearby farmer near Staveley. I've enjoyed it. I had a nice, this one was a bit grim, so it's nice to be inside and walk out today. Be traipsing around the fells on your own farming away, so it's quite nice.
Like a busman's holiday for you, I suppose.
In a way, yes, but it's a change, so it's a nice day out.
How important is it to have expert knowledge and to listen to these guys speak and to spend some time with them on the fells, and how important was that, do you think?
Yes, it is. An expert, knows more and more about less and less. You've got to be able to see the wood, not just the trees, and pun that, or a bad example rather. But yes, you've got to put everybody's perspective and take the whole viewpoint.
Has today encouraged you to get more involved in things like this, or less involved?
More involved, actually.
How have you found today, and why are events like this important?
I think they're important because there's a lot of information around. There's a lot of information that is useful, and to try and make a sensible decision about what to do. There are so many different ways to go forward on flood management, but also on the wider land management and the balance between the, I guess, farming subsidies with the provision of land use. So the cities and the farmers don't always see eye to eye on what to do with the land. Who should fund it? So we want nice fences, pretty stone walls. You can't ask the farmer to pay for that. It's all the same thing as flood management. Flood management is just a little bit of it, but Desmond has produced a big kickstart to get people talking, to possibly unlock funding, but it may bring people together. So
Thank you.
We'll look at